Hello and welcome to the Healthylicious podcast. Today we have someone special with us. As you know, every time we discuss different topics related to health, to nutrition, well-being, exercise. Today we're going to talk about Pilates, especially with Élise, who's known more as Pilatelise. So we're going to talk about her journey, how she started Pilates, and now definitely how it changed her life, and that she recommended for a lot of people. We're going to see a little bit how it can help us as well to learn about it more and maybe to integrate it a little bit in our life. So, hi Élise, how are
Hello.
you?
Hi, I'm good. You?
I'm very happy to have you today with us.
Same here. I'm so happy to be here.
Very lucky to have you before you travel as well.
Yes.
At first, we known each other as, from Instagram. You are a Pilates instructor known as Pilatelise on your Instagram account. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you do, and about how Pilates is, part of your life.
Okay, so Pilates basically started, I would say, 7 years ago when my physiotherapist, who gets to be my husband too, diagnosed me in scoliosis. So I had so much pain in my back and he recommended me to start Pilates. So this is why when I started Pilates, I fell in love with the method and I decided to become a teacher myself. And I've been teaching now Pilates for almost 3 years and it has grew very, very big since I've started, and I'm really enjoying being a teacher now. So I'm also a full-time in e-commerce, which I just quit my job this month, and I'm deciding to go full-time on to be a Pilates teacher and pursue that specific dream of mine.
Okay, this is amazing news and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
And I feel this is what we need to do whenever, we have something in our life that is also a hobby, but as well, it can be a career.
Yeah.
And I really, I have attended one of your classes, so I feel that this is something amazing to do. You can change a lot of people's lives.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit, what's the difference between Pilates and Pilates Reformer, and which one do you give in terms of classes?
Okay, that's a question I always get asked, and I'm honestly a big fan of both. For whoever is new to Pilates, I really recommend you to start with Pilates mat. Before you jump onto a reformer, I have a lot of students who directly go to reformer, and just because it's trendy on Instagram and everyone wants to see what's the hype, so they directly come to reformer. But I recommend you to go to mat first, not because it's easier, but it's just because it allows you to have more mind and body connection, and it allows you to move just with your own body strength and to be more aware of how your body moves, to do movements in a more correct way. And also it is very, very challenging. It also depends on how the instructor takes you, how advanced the class is. It's really, really good in that aspect, and it works really well with your core. Now, if you move to reformer, definitely it's so much more fun. There's springs and more strength training to be done on the reformer. But just to get the concept of how reformer started first, reformer was created for rehab, and it's a bed for people to be lying on so that they can move on it, which is why reformer can also be really good for anyone who has injuries or scoliosis, like my case in specific, to help you move your spine or move your body in a safe way. So reformer can be, let's say, for rehab, and can be for more advanced or as a fitness journey that you want to take. So I would say both of them have advantages. Both of them can be used in specific ways. Both of them are really fun and can be done solely as a physical activity. However, I would really recommend you to start with mat first before jumping to reformer, and have a mix of both, because mat is really nice for the core and reformer is really nice for full body strength.
Okay, that's very clear. Something also I wanted to ask you is regarding pregnant women.
Yeah.
I know that also it's recommended for pregnant women to do some yoga or Pilates, right?
Correct, right. So I'm also certified in pre and postnatal. Pilates is recommended a lot for pre and postnatal because it's a safe exercise, low impact exercise that can be done at any stage during pregnancy. You use your body in a safe safe way, you move your spine in a safe way, you can disregard the core or use the core in a very specific way. And it allows the pregnant woman pre and postnatal to feel better either during pregnancy or post-pregnancy they are encountering.
And when to start? Is it the same as within the normal delivery and C-section? So 6 weeks for C-section and
Yes.
within a few weeks after normal delivery?
Exactly. It's safe, let's say, to be done. Just make sure you always check with your doctor first, but it is a safe way to start. And I would really recommend you to also mention it to the instructor before you go into a class, specifically here in Dubai, because reformer classes are a bit more advanced and more into strength training. So make sure to mention it, or go to specific pre or postnatal classes that are mentioned in reformer places here in Dubai.
Exactly. Is there any contraindication? So people, you said yourself you had scoliosis,
Yes.
right? So there are some types of exercise that you cannot do.
Yeah.
So for example, for Pilates, is there any contraindication if someone has specific types of injuries or specific, medical condition? They
Okay.
cannot do Pilates?
Okay, again, as I mentioned, Pilates is a very, very safe low impact exercise. So it's very rare that there's exercises you cannot do if you have scoliosis or any spine mobility problems. Definitely there's adjustments that should be done and should be mentioned to your instructor, as I've mentioned, but it is somehow a safe exercise if you do it in the correct way. There is definitely some movements, let's say in a reformer, if you're going to really advanced classes on a reformer, that you shouldn't be doing. The same way that if you go to the gym or any other kind of exercises, you need to be careful of how you move your body when you're injured. So I really recommend you to get let's say, to educate yourself more about your situation, about what to move and what not to do, and basically to also mention it to your instructor if you're going to any group class that you have the specific injury, because most Pilates instructors should know how to adjust the movements for you if you have any specific pain or injury you are encountering.
Okay. Something very important. How many times a week do you think we should do Pilates if it's our main exercise? Now, we're going to talk later about weight loss and exercise, etc. But for Pilates, is it recommended? Is it okay to do 4 times a week? Is it okay to do more? Because sometimes of exercises, they recommend a certain, hours per week.
Yes, I would say a minimum of 3 times. I wouldn't say a maximum, because again, it's a low impact exercise. You can do up to 5 times a week. That's still safe. And I would say, again, a mix of mat, a mix of reformer and different types of mat. You can do a flowy stretch instead of a high impact, or you can do reformer cardio and then do a reformer strength, reformer flow. There's several exercises that you can do on the reformer or on the mat where you can fit them throughout the whole week. But I would say if you're just focusing on Pilates without any other, let's say, type of sports, I would say a minimum of 3 weeks in order to see some results. Like food, I would say. You have to stick to a specific routine to see results.
Exactly. You have to be consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
Élise, I have a question. I have a personal question, actually. I don't see men going to do Pilates. Is it only an exercise for women?
Okay, so this is a big misconception that we see in the culture, that Pilates is only for women. It's definitely not only for women. A lot of athletes do Pilates, and it's one of their routines in their workout. And Pilates is made by Joseph Pilates, who is a man. So it is definitely for men. It is very challenging also for men. A lot of men people come to my class, and they are the ones who struggle much more than women, because the type of movements is very specific. We use deep core muscles, we use very small muscles, and they are usually not aware of. So when they start putting it in their routine, they become much better in their strength training or on any other activity that they do in their normal life.
So basically, the athletes, they use it to have a stronger core.
It is type of the routine for rehab, for mobility, for core strength, for a lot of other endurances that they are doing in type of their activities.
Oh, that's very interesting. From your point of view, okay, do you think that Pilates is an exercise we can use to lose weight? Because when people come to us, come to Healthylicious to lose weight, and then they ask us, like, we want to train, we want to exercise. Their priority is cardio and high intensity, or mainly high intensity, because it involves, the weights plus the cardio together. So you lose weight, and at the same time, you keep your muscle strong. So how about Pilates? Can it really be a way to lose weight, or it can assist or be, part of this weight loss journey?
So it definitely can help with losing weight. But I think to lose weight, 70% of it, I think you can agree with me, is food. So as much as you're gonna do Pilates or any other training, if you're not eating well, you're not gonna lose weight. So this is also something I always tell my clients, please focus on your diet as much as you focus on your workout, because it comes together. You cannot do one without the other if your main aim is to lose weight. However, if your main aim is, let's say, to move your body, to feel good in your body, to move your spine, or come to fix a rehab, okay, then maybe you can work out and forget about the weight part. But if you are looking into that specifically, I think food is very, very important. And I think in anything, if you eat good and you eat healthy, you will feel better in your body, and you will feel good, same as when you exercise and finish working out. It comes together. This is for me very important.
Yeah, you're right. It is a balance. And I feel that also women after delivery, after having kids, it's very important to include some Pilates with their routine.
Right.
Like for me and all my friends, we started discussing and you pushed us, all of us, to do more Pilates, because the core for women is not very strong sometimes after delivery, especially after C-section.
Right.
So how did when you were here in the last year, most of your days you were taking food from Healthylicious.
Right.
So how was your experience? How did it help you? And how did you, how did you plan your meals throughout the day with your routine, with your hectic routine going between classes? So how did it help you and for being having more energy during exercise and maintaining your weight?
So I think meal plans is the best thing that ever happened to me, specifically in Dubai. I was working, as I mentioned, a full-time job. I had classes, I had privates, I had to plan classes. I was literally on a very busy schedule, and I always wanted to maintain a healthy lifestyle and maintain my weight and all of that. So Healthylicious was basically my savior. And honestly, I really recommend anyone who is on a busy schedule to do or to go to Healthylicious or do a meal plan, because it helps a lot. Why? Because one, they're planning the food for you, so you don't have to worry about your calorie count, the type of food you're eating, because there's a dietitian at the end of the day who's planning that for you and sending you the food daily, so you don't have to think about it or forget, let's say, to get the phone and order. You're so hungry, the food is there, and you eat on the right time, you have your food ready. So personally, that was for 4 years in Dubai. 4 years I've been on meal plans. I never stopped, and every time I stop, I feel like, okay, I'm losing my balance. I go back on meal plans. It was definitely my go-to thing to go to, and it definitely helped me a lot. And I think it's a really good option that we have, considering that we all live a very, very hectic life in Dubai specifically. So this is my definitely go-to thing to stay healthy. If not, let's say if I'm not able to go on a meal plan, I would say always check with a dietitian on the calorie count, to check your metabolism, follow a very realistic diet that can be, let's say, sustainable, instead of just doing these diet that you just follow for 1 week and just go back to zero. So yeah, try to find a diet that's basically, I think, consistent, that's reasonable, that's healthy, that for you to stay consistent and become part of your lifestyle, instead of just let me lose weight for a few weeks and forget about it. Same with meal plan, I would say. You might see results not directly from the first month, but if you follow the meal plan with a consistent, active lifestyle, you will definitely find huge results.
Something very nice I found when you were on Healthylicious is that you're not afraid of carbs. You order pasta sometimes for lunch, you order a dish with rice. And this is something I love, because a lot of instructors, especially women, what they tell their client is like, stay away from carbs, don't eat at all. And we have this struggle actually at Healthylicious. They come to me And I'm not a big fan of such a diet. Definitely at night, you can decrease a bit your carbs,
Yeah.
decrease your sugar intake. But is the way you eat and you're still maintaining your weight, right?
Yeah. So again, as I mentioned, I try when I go into a healthy lifestyle, I try to find something that's logical, that's reasonable, that becomes part of your lifestyle to sustain. Because if you try to cut on something directly, and it is difficult to sustain for some time. Cutting on carbs, I think at a certain point, not to extreme extents. Again, it depends from one person to another, but this is my personal opinion. It's very important to have carbs in your diet, especially if you are working out. Maybe you want to decrease it at night. That's okay, logical, but maybe not in your breakfast and your lunch and your dinner. You still need carbs in your diet. It gives you energy. It improves your brain to keep coping the whole day. And again, like your body craves for carbs, if I'm not mistaken. So if you really cut it out, it's a bit difficult for you to keep it, or to stop yourself from getting hungry. Let's say alongside with protein. Protein definitely also makes you full, but I think a balance is key for anything, I would say.
I want to ask you, what do you give us, for example, as tips for someone who wants to exercise and make it a habit? It's not easy to start with, for example, with Pilates and make it a habit, start gradually, finding, a good Pilates center around you and then going maybe within your schedule. What are your tips, to make it more a lifestyle, make it more something that we can continue with?
Number one tip I always tell my clients or anyone, my friends, my family, choose the sports you enjoy. Same like food. Choose something you enjoy, choose something you like, because this is how you stay consistent. Whatever it may be, if it's, let's say, swimming or Pilates or yoga or strength training or paddle now, whatever you find something that you enjoy, just stick to it. And once you find it, instead of just feeling that you have to go and work out, it becomes part of your routine. And whenever you don't go and do that specific routine, you feel something's wrong and you wanna go back to that workout. So choose something you enjoy, whatever that could be, because this is what keeps you consistent in your moving or in exercising. And another thing I would say, plan it in your day. So let's say put it on your calendar. That's what I usually do. So I plan my day. Okay, I have this, I have that. At this time, I have my 1 hour workout. I go to that studio. I practice for myself. I put it in my calendar, because when I see it and I know, I don't say, oh my God, I don't have time, I need to rush. No, I have it there. And you start putting it in your calendar, you start realizing, no, it's part of your routine. And when you don't do it, you start feeling, oh, it's part of your basic routine that you're missing out and you need to go back to. So I personally feel whenever I'm not working out, there's something wrong in my day, or there's something wrong in my week. That's why, because it became part of my lifestyle, it became part of my routine, and this is how I did it. Another tip, I would say, the last one. There's a lot of people who, let's say, post-pregnancy or have an injury, or they are really busy individuals. Just fit in 30 minutes during your day, even if it's at home. There's a lot of online workouts now. There's a lot of apps, there's a lot of YouTube channels where you can just go in, find that 30 minutes, do it for yourself, whether it was in the morning, after you put your baby into bed, anything. Just get yourself moving. Keep consistent in moving, let's say for at least 3 weeks. Automatically you will start feeling that it is part of your routine, and you will start going and searching 30 minutes workout before doing anything. And again, put it in your calendar and you will see amazing results.
Exactly, I feel the same way. There's a question I missed to ask you.
Yeah.
At what age we can start Pilates? Is there an age? I only see adults, right?
There's no, it's a safe workout. I mean, teenagers, there's specific also, let's say in Europe, there's a lot of classes for teenagers Pilates. It's definitely safe for everyone. Also, like, Pilates was famous for ballerinas because there's a lot of moves that consist of ballet moves. So there's a lot of also teenagers that put Pilates with their ballet routine. So I think it's safe for anyone above teenaging, especially just because reformer can be a bit unsafe at a certain point for young people. Yeah, I think it's just a safe workout. This is why all physiotherapists recommend it, because it's a safe workout, and there's as long as you're just with the right trainer and you're aware of the machine, or your mind and body connection, everything would be safe.
Tell us a little bit about your app. I know we were talking
Yes.
the other day about, you're creating your new app, and this is very interesting because I believe the teacher or the coach is very important. Same as the dietitian. Some people, they come back to you again and again because they like you, they trust you, and they want to continue their health journey with you, right?
Yeah.
So this is also what we try to build with Healthylicious clients and myself with my client. How about you? Like, clients, they like you and they go sometimes to the class because it's you.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about your app and what you're thinking of doing in your app.
So initially, I've got a lot of requests when I left Dubai to give online workouts or online Zoom workouts or any of that. I've got requested so many times to a point that someone reached out to me to do an app. And I was like, you know what? Let me do it. So I actually did my own app. It's called Pilatelise, and it's available on App Store. It's pre-recorded workouts. There's challenges, there's reformer, mat, injuries, specific workouts. My husband is a physiotherapist. I'm qualified in injuries and active rehab. So there's specific also workouts for anyone who has any injuries. It's also pre and postnatal. So the app has everything, Pilates related workouts for everyone. And as I mentioned before, it's for whoever doesn't have so much time or doesn't have the capabilities to go out and do a workout outside of their home. They can just download the app and they can do workouts anywhere and at any time in their day for any specific request that they have, whether it was a full, a 30 minutes, a 20 minutes, an upper body, a challenge. There's challenges you can have. So it's literally for everyone there, and it's also one-on-one classes. There's something I also
What do you need as a material? You need a mat?
There's type of classes on the app where you only need a mat and yourself. Also, I give options for props. So there's also classes with Pilates softball, the circle, the band. So there's options for everything. And also there's a lot of times where I say, let's say instead of the softball, you can use a pillow.
Okay.
Instead of the weights, you can use bottles of water. So instead you don't have it. But I would say if you are investing in having an app and to work at home, invest in also having some props with you at home, because it makes also the workout a bit more challenging, a bit more fun than just using your body weight.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me if you still have something you'd like to discuss. For me, like this is exactly what I wanted to know about Pilates. I'm very happy we discussed it. Is there anything you feel people don't know and we haven't talked about it?
I think we covered all the topics. I would say just one thing now that Pilates has become a trend on social media. Reformer is becoming a trend on social media. Everyone, like Pilates is booming, same as I would say paddle right now.
It is.
And I think it is because for a reason. A lot of people started trying it and they fell in love with it. And I love the method. Definitely, I vote for it. And I recommend everyone to try. But one recommendation is, please start mat before you go up onto a reformer. Please choose the teachers wisely, because they will make it or break it. So especially if it's your first time, not because they're good or bad teachers, but there's different styles. So don't judge from the first time. Try different styles, try different studios, and then judge Pilates for yourself before you say it's easy or it's hard, because a lot of people sometimes think it's easy, but it's not. And choose the specific level that you should do, and definitely keep moving.
Yes, 100%. Thank you, Élise,
Thank you
so
so
much for coming here today. I was very happy to talk to you about Pilates. I'm always super happy talking about different topics related, to health in general, because I believe it's the everything, it's the food, it's the habit,
Right.
it's the exercise, it's everything that will make us to become more healthy. So thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
hope to have you
Thank
again
you,
soon with
Cynthia.
us.
Hopefully. Thank you so much.